Yes, welcome back to another video.
Take it slow, bring it back, let them know, bring it down to the flow.
It's been a minute since we did get ready with me / a live update video, and my initial plan was to, you know, as usual, do my makeup and talk to you guys. But I think in my last 2-3 videos I asked you guys if you would rather have me do my makeup and talk to you guys or finish my makeup and talk to you guys, and then someone replied that they prefer after the makeup. The rest of you did not say anything, so I'm going to go by what they said. But the truth of the matter is that usually I prefer to talk to you and do my makeup, because I don't know if it's a mind thing, right? But when I do my makeup and I speak to you guys, right, I feel like usually I take my mask off. Listen to me very carefully. I feel like usually I take my mask off and then I tell you everything that I feel at that very moment, and when I'm done I put the mask back on, if that makes sense. During that time my mask is off, I have my bare face and I'm just like bringing it all out till the last bit where, you know, I'm done and I put my mask back on and I'm like, you know, that me right again, you know. Especially when it has to do with things like this. Spoiler alert, today is a mixture. It's a mixed feeling kind of video. Like, it's the exciting, the bad, the good, the ugly, and everything that's happened these past couple of months or years or whatever. So buckle up. Unfortunately I did not have wine. I wish I had wine. I think it's usually better when I have wine. I have like one last bottle of alcohol left and I really do not want to open it with this, but I wanted to. What should I do? I'm gonna drink. Okay, wait for me. Let me get a glass. My problem is that this looks too good to just like drink it right now. But I want to. The bottle looks so nice. Should we drink or not? If I feel like drinking later, I'll just go get it. So I'm done with my eyeshadow. How are we looking right now? I just put on my primer, and I know you all like hate it when I talk and do my makeup, but we just have to do it this way, okay? We have to do it the hard way, so bear with me. So life update, I'm gonna take them step by step. I'm gonna try my best and then do it in categories. I think I've written down the main points and I'm just gonna go with the flow. If you've been here long enough, you know that I'll get ready with me a bit all over the place, but we always get to it at the end of it. And also, this is gonna be a long video, like I said, so buckle up, okay? Buckle the effort. And by the way, I caved in and got the juice, so juice. By the way, I caved in and got it, so cheers to you, baby. Ooh. So, as you all know, right, the video I showed you was actually true. I did rent that place for a year, but unfortunately I didn't get to live in that place as much as I wanted to. So there will be no decorations video coming up, because when I gave birth, right, you guys, I needed all the support and love I could get. I had to live somewhere and then get all the help that I needed. There was also this thing about the place, like there was like this mold, and when it rains it gets a bit moldy and so on and so forth. So I never got to decorate it. It's all complicated. First of all, my mental health was in shambles. I didn't have the strength to pimp up the place like I wanted to or like I had planned to. And when I gave birth as well, like I said, I had made myself the sole person around my daughter, so she got very used to me being around and very clingy. And to be honest, I was clingy as well. I didn't want to leave her, okay? So that was another thing. So I was not going out, I was not working as much, and my mental health was in shambles. So basically I did not get to decorate the place, okay? It was literally like that for almost a freaking year. And the worst part of it was that I spent like a lot of money. I think at the time I rented it for like 2,300 Ghana cedis. Was it 2,300? Yes, it was 2,300 Ghana cedis, and I rented it for a year, you guys. And if I'm being honest, I feel like that money was a waste because I did not live there as much. I had to live elsewhere. I would love to explain that into details, but not in this video and not right now. Maybe someday, but not now. Anyway, that happened. So no, there will not be decorations video coming out. If you watch my previous reels and other things, you will see that I did film a lot of videos in that house, but I have moved again, okay? The girl has moved again. I'm in a different space right now, and if you've been observant lately, you will see that my background and my video has changed. The tiles are completely different. Everything is different. So if you're confused, I'm just trying to say that it's because I've moved, and that's why. This year, one of the things I want to do is to include you guys more into my life. I'm very forgetful. I forget a lot of things, and I noticed that when I was very down, one of the things that helped me was the fact that I had told you guys some things, and I had danced in videos that kind of like brought me alive. So now I want to like overshare. I'm too private for my own good, let's just put it that way. Anyway, regards to my mental health, right, I hope you've been watching my videos, and if you're new here, hi, my name is Samira, nice to meet you, and let's get acquainted. Okay, so I've been talking about this in most of my videos, like I have ADHD and blah blah blah, and here's how it all happened and how I found out that I had or how I suspect that I have ADHD. As a matter of fact, I've already done the test that determines it and everything. I'm just waiting for them to give me the results, which I don't know why Ghana is so weird. I'll explain later. But basically, when I gave birth, right, I found out that I was struggling more than the average person was. I was extremely forgetful. I've always been extremely forgetful. Let me give you some instances, right? When I was growing up, you know how in Ghana, right, they will send you to go and buy something, and then you just go and then forget about whatever they sent you and then play and forget about everything. That was me, man. That was me. And my auntie whooped my ass so bad, a million times, just because of that. Like, I was that kid that when you send, just forget about it, because I'm gonna do something else and forget that you sent me, you know. I was never focused. I just had like so much going on. I couldn't see things. Something could be lying down here and I would pass by it like a million times and never pick it up. And it's not because I'm avoiding it, just because I can't even see, like I don't notice it. And it was funny because there are certain things that are very sharp for me, certain things I can see very fast, certain things I just do not give a fuck. Because either I'm so into something or I don't care about it at all. When it came to school, I struggled a lot. I always felt like I had to put in like the extra effort to be able to get what I want. And I knew I was not dumb. It's just that I would learn, and sometimes while I'm writing my exam, I would completely go blank. Like my brain would just like shut down. This thing I'm telling you about, right? At a point, I thought someone was doing me. I swear to God, I'm not even lying. If not for the fact that I'm not that superstitious, I would have gone somewhere and said someone is doing something to me. Because I just found myself going down this hole where everything felt super weird. Like I could never get my shit together. This reminds me. So there's this ex of mine that I've not told you guys about. I don't know if I've ever hinted about it. The ex I said I caught having a threesome. That's a huge story time that I've been hiding for ages. But this ex of mine, right, I remember when I was with that ex, I would completely forget about things, and then at a point he would yell at me because of that. I remember there was this one time that I was boiling an egg, and then out of nowhere I just zoned out, literally, and the egg was burning and like there was smoke and everything, and I just zoned out. Like it wasn't like I was doing something, or I was literally in the house, you guys, and I forgot about it. He comes in and his house is like almost burning. Like, I mean, his house is not burning, but the silver had gone black and everything. And I remember that day he screamed at me so much that I will never forget about it. So basically, I suspected that something was wrong with me. I've always suspected that something is wrong with me, because you guys, when I first started YouTube, right, there were times that I would say that, okay, today I'm gonna wake up at 6, then I'm gonna film these 2-3 videos at this time and that time. Sometimes I'll wake up and I would feel so unmotivated. Like I would feel so drained, so sad, and I would just be like, I can't do this. Other times I would wake up and I'll be like, okay, we can do it, and then I'll start making up at maybe, let's say 9, you guys, and by the time I'll finish my makeup, it's past 12 or even 1. Like, I kid you not, I bullshit you not. And in my brain, I've only been doing this for 30 minutes. What do you mean by it's been 3 hours? You understand? And this was like a thing that used to happen. I remember back then, my friend back then, she'd be like, we have to go to Bloomberg at 8, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I got you. And then the truth is that, like, even if she calls me at 5 or whatever, I'll be like, oh, I'm doing my hair, I'm almost done, that kind of thing. It will be 8 and I'm not ready. Like, it's not because I did not start early. My brain just does not see time the same way other people do. I don't know how long 30 minutes is, and I don't know how long 5 minutes it's supposed to be. If I say I'll be here in 5 minutes, that 5 minutes will be 10 minutes in my brain, or 20 minutes, you know. And for the longest time, I was so ashamed to say this. For the longest time, I was so ashamed to tell someone that, hey, I don't even know how long this is supposed to be, because I thought that just made me dumb. So I'll try very hard to blend in, I'll try very hard to like focus, I'll try very hard to do certain things just to blend in, you know. So basically what happened was that the first time I suspected I had ADHD was that I was on Twitter, right, and I was just going through the normal Twitter stuff, and a lady had posted something about how she started cooking and whatever, and then before she realized it was in the evening, and then while I was reading the comments, someone was like, oh, this is not normal, you might have ADHD. But I didn't take it seriously. One of the things that I started doing a lot when I gave birth was that I prayed so much. I started praying so much. I joined like a lot of prayer platforms, because you guys, it just gets to a point where you know that, Charlie, if it's not God, I cannot be saved. And that's where I was. I felt like I was dying, I was drowning, and there was nothing I could do except go to God. So like I would pray all the time. And I still strongly believe that the only reason why I found out that I had ADHD was because I was praying a lot. Because here's the thing, right, ADHD was not as popular. Now I see it a lot more because I'm aware about it. Back then I didn't know that. And when I say back then, it hasn't been that long, you guys. It's just like just last year, ending of last year or so. And before then I had never heard of ADHD. I didn't even know it was a thing. I just knew that I have something. At a point I suspected bipolar. I thought someone was doing me. And if you've watched my previous videos, you know that I have talked about depression and all those things in the past, right? So you should know what I'm talking about. So I'm on Instagram, and this lady Finba was something about ADHD. This is where it all began, you guys. This is where, like, I was just like, oh my god, this is what I've been suffering from. So she posted something about ADHD, and it wasn't about the ADHD. She posted something that people with ADHD do, and I was like, oh, this is funny. And then I saw it and I laughed, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so me. And then out of nowhere I was just like, you know what, let me just follow the page and see what it's about. Tell me why I go to this page, and basically it's like an ADHD group where people talk about what they've been through, and most of the things we're talking about was literally me. The fact that I don't know time, the fact that I'm very depressed and unmotivated, the fact that my dopamine is always like mostly low. Because with ADHD people, I didn't explain what ADHD, I'm sorry, okay. Samira, you said all these things without explaining what ADHD is. Samira. So basically ADHD is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Now there are different types of ADHD. There's some people that are very hyper, and then some people that are like under, like some people that are not as hyper. I am under. I'm one of those people that's like I'm not hyperactive. I can be hyperactive, but mostly I'm down. Like, I don't know how to explain, but mostly I'm low. I'm on the lower side of the ADHD. And while I was doing my research, I found out that most women do not get diagnosed early because we are very good at masking our feelings. We are very good at hiding it all. And literally that was all I did all my life, you guys. All I did was mask it. So when I was growing up, right, one of the things I used to like doing was that I would watch what people were doing just to learn what I thought was like the right way to do things, or the wrong way to do things. And because of that, for the longest time I also suffered with knowing who I was, because I felt this constant urge to fit in. Like, I'm one of those people that I could be talking to someone and wondering if I'm doing the eye contacts right, or if I'm doing like it was just like a lot of things, you guys. I'll probably put some of the signs here just so you guys would know, but it was a lot of things that were freaking going through my mind, and I was struggling at that time. So basically when I saw this, then I started reading about it, and you guys, I had never felt seen in my entire life like I did that day. Like, it was like someone was reading my life to me. Someone was reading everything that I had suspected but was afraid to like even mention. And that was when I was like, oh my freaking god, I actually have ADHD, you know? I have it. Even if I have a test right now, they tell me that I don't have it, I would still do another one. That's how high I believe that I do have it. Anyway, so I go through this thing and I start reading it, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is me. This is definitely me. So I start reading, and out of nowhere, you guys, I burst out crying. Like, I was crying so much. Why? Because I've spent so many years wondering what the fuck is wrong with me, wondering why I can't get my life together, wondering why I can't get my shit together, you guys. Listen, if I tell you the number of hobbies I've had and stopped, you'll be like, Samira, what's wrong with you? I could love something right now, and the next moment I don't give a shit about it. And that is a fact. Wig making, for instance, right? I used to make wigs. Like, there are a lot of the wigs that you see me wear that I actually made them myself. I learned this just to be able to like use it as a craft. I learned wig making just so I can use it as an entrepreneur or whatever. Tell me why I learned how to do it, and when I finally did, I just got like, I don't want to make wigs anymore. When I was trying to learn how to do makeup, I was obsessed with it. I'll buy every makeup product I could come across. As soon as I was getting there, I'm like, no. One day I just woke up and I'm like, it's not as interesting anymore. And the list goes on and on and on. Apparently for ADHD people, most of the time it's like you know a lot of things, but you're not a master of any of them, if that makes sense. So you're constantly chasing like things that will make you happy. I'm a freaking spendthrift, like, you guys. I spend like I have money, and I don't. That's the thing. As for impulsiveness, when God was giving birth to me, he said, hey Samira, you know what's impulsiveness? Take double. I'm so impulsive, it's not even funny. But basically what I was trying to say is that, so I see this and I just break down as I crying, because I'm just like, oh my god. And that also made me resentful towards all the people that have raised me, because I'm like, oh my god, had they just been patient a bit, a lot of things that happened would not have happened. And that really made me sad, because knowing that, yo, I was not just being lazy, knowing that, yo, all the times that I was extremely moody and depressed, all the time that I didn't want to talk to anybody, all the time that I was not focused, all the time that I was doing all this nonsense. It was not just me, it was my brain. Like there's something actually fucked up in my brain, and that was why I was doing all these things. And the fact that I got blamed a lot, I blamed myself a lot, people, like I lost people in the process just because of that, it made me very sad. I'm not even gonna lie. So that day I cried like a baby. And this is why it's important for you to like sometimes just share your problems, because you never know, right? Only God knows how wonderful it is to know that there's like other people just like you out there, because that helped my mental health so much, knowing that I was not the problem, knowing that, oh yes, I do have this, but it's okay. Like I don't have to act like a neurotypical, like I don't have to act like everyone else. For the longest time I'll tell God that why can't I just be normal? And finally I could finally accept myself for who I am. I could finally take my issues and then make them into positives, because the truth is that even though ADHD people have like all these things, they can be very good as well, right? And I didn't know that I had it, so I couldn't even channel that into something good, you know? So I was like, oh my God, now that I know I have it, I gotta treat it. All this time that all these things would happen, I just thought I had gone through so much. My forgetfulness, by the way, I thought I had gone through so much in life that my brain was constantly trying to forget everything that happened, because I have gone through a lot, you guys. And when I went to therapy the first time, I was just like I'm gonna die. And by the way, if you know a therapist, please let me know in the comment section, because a couple of you have texted me asking me to recommend some therapists to you, and I do not have a therapist. Like I said, my therapist left me. I don't have one now, so I can't recommend them to you. As a matter of fact, I'm also looking for one myself. Okay, so let's do the needful. If you know a therapist, or if you're a therapist, please connect me, I beg. In my case, I had ADHD and I had like the postpartum wahala, which made everything worse. Now fast forward, I started posting things about ADHD, and out of nowhere a lady, I think her name is, I don't know if she wants me to mention her name, but one day she texts me, she's like, Sam, do you have ADHD? Can you like explain whatever to me, because I have it too, and blah blah. I'm like, girl, I think I do, but I was not diagnosed and I want to get diagnosed. She's like, oh, I do have it. I got diagnosed in Kolebu. Here. She gave me the details. Just like, you should check them out. They're really good. She even gave me a number. Oh my God. Listen, God bless you. Okay, I love you so much. And someday I'll take you out for lunch. So this girl sends me that, and I'm just like, oh my God, I didn't even know that was a thing. So yes, after that I went to Kolebu. I went to the psychiatric ward. By the way, if you have ADHD, go there. But let me tell you something. One thing I regret about going there was the fact that I didn't go there with connections, because by not going there with connections, my results are still not in. Even though they gave me some like whatever, my results are still not in. I regret that. If you have connections, use it. Unfortunately, that's just how Ghana is. My results took way longer than it should have because I didn't use connections. I went there with my eyes feeling. Don't be that person. Yeah, I think I have ADHD. Okay, I'm still trying to figure it out, but we'll see. So after my mental health went into the gutters after birth and everything, I was just like, you know what? Now I know what my problem is. At least now I know why I'm the way I am. Once you know what the problem is, you should try and solve it, right? Since I know this, I'm gonna go get help. And where do you think I got help from? So I decided to start using BetterHelp. Yes, BetterHelp. I had seen like 1,000. I've seen Dima Ume, I've seen Jen I am. I've seen like a lot of influencers use BetterHelp, right? As a matter of fact, at a point in my friend's life, I have recommended it to my friends, because how can all these influencers use BetterHelp and it will not be good? Like, it doesn't make sense. Dima has never failed me, so you know, that kind of thing. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna use BetterHelp. Mind you, I've downloaded BetterHelp before. In the past, I downloaded BetterHelp, but I deleted it because I was not using it. It was just like occupying space. So I think after a while I deleted it. So on the day that I said, you know what, I'm gonna start using BetterHelp, was one day I woke up, I had put my daughter to bed, and I came back inside and I was just lying on the floor. I didn't know why. I was so sad. I was just crying. I had a panic attack, to be honest, and I was just like, you know what, we have to, like, at this point we need help. Okay, I was like, girl, we need help, so I have to get help. That was how I ended up like getting the BetterHelp app and everything. I think at the time it was like $45, but apparently they charge like a month upfront. Now me being me and me having my trust issues, I'm just like, you know what, I'm not gonna pay like all that upfront. What I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna pay a bit, try them out. If I like it, and I'll continue. So what I did was that I paid the first week, which was $45. And you mind you guys, this was the time that the dollar had gone crazy. It was 15 cedis per dollar. It wasn't cheap. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, it wasn't cheap. So I entered this thing, and then when I entered, my appointment date was on the 18th of that month. I think it was in October or so, and that made sense, right? Now one of the things like I said, was that sometimes I don't bother to check details. Like, my brain is so freaking annoying, right? I entered the details in the evening, somewhere around 10, and then they gave me the 18th, right? And they were like, do I want to change the date or whatever? And 18 from that day, like, I did want to change that day, but I was so low that I didn't have the strength to change it. So I was like, you know what, 18 is fine. Because mind you, I've been in therapy before, right? And it was a freaking nightmare. So I was dreading it as well. So I was like, you know what, 18 is fine. Tell me why on the 18th of that day, I'm ready, I've got my books, I've got my points that I want to tell my psychiatrist or whatever. I think it was supposed to be at 7 or 8, and I don't get a call from my psychiatrist. I'm like, my internet is working. I tried to reach out, nothing is going through. Meanwhile, I'm told that she's online. Anyway, it kept doing that, and like it was just stuck. And eventually I checked, and then apparently it's time for me to pay. And if I don't pay, I cannot talk to the therapist.
Are you normal?
Wait, first of all, if you knew that, why do you have to put me on the 18th? You mean the first week is just going like that without me talking to her? Anyway, that's it. Like, I never got to talk to her that whole night. I was sitting down, I tried everything. The only option they gave me was to tell my therapist that I'm having issues with my billing, so I cannot attend the thing.
Shy!
I'm like, wait, what is this? How rich? Imagine already being low, right? And someone punched you in the gut. That's how it felt like. It felt like I was already low, I was already struggling, and BetterHelp just kicked me in the gut. That's how I felt like, because I don't think I had been as desperate as I was that day. Like, I needed that therapy. I needed to speak to someone that day, and it just didn't happen. So I go online and I start googling, and people are like there were so many stories from people talking about how they got scammed, or like they felt like they got scammed, and how BetterHelp did the same thing to them. Like, you guys, it was just a lot of stories and everything. I'm just like, oh my god, oh my god, BetterHelp, why me? Do you know the number of people I've recommended to you guys? Anyway, I didn't want to leave it there, because like I'm just like, this is my hard-earned money, and at the time I was not working, so like everything meant a lot to me. So I sent them a message and I'm like, hey, this is what happened. I was like, I had an appointment today, I was ready for my appointment, and the therapist didn't show, and now I got a message saying that I have to pay first and blah blah blah, and I have not even used the first one, so how do I pay for the next one? And then the lady replies that she's very sorry that happened, but usually you have to pay an upfront. And oh, mind you, I had paid with a different, I got this postcard from Fidelity Bank, and I used it to do my online transaction and everything, so I didn't pay from my direct account, because if I had, I would have been able to deduct it, and I only put enough money for just that first session so I could try it. So they go like, it's supposed to be a 1 month upfront thing, and that it also renews on its own. And I'm like, I get that, but it's also possible for you to pay for a week, right? And I paid for a week, and I have not, you guys gave me that option. Why give someone that option if you know that they cannot even use it on that day unless they pay again? And besides, it's my first time. And then she goes like, yeah, they're very sorry about that. Unfortunately, there's nothing they can do about it, except that if I want to get it, what they can do for me is that if I pay for the next week, then they can give me 1 week more for free.
Pardon?
And I'm in my head, I'm like, how are you giving me 1 week more for free? How? Which means like the week I've lost, they'll give it back to me. And but she said they'll give me a week for free. And in my head, I'm like, no, you are not giving it to me for free. I paid for it. Just that I was pissed, man. I was pissed. I was pissed, and my trust went out the window. So I went online, I was searching, and people like started complaining. Others were saying the same thing. Some people said they paid money and it took them forever to get a therapist, and when they finally did, it takes forever. And then BetterHelp announces like their whole thing is that, oh, if you don't like a therapist, you can change it at any time. And they went like, changing a therapist can take up to 2 weeks or so. Like, you guys, it was just a freaking mess. It was, I don't wish it upon my enemy, worst one. But that also made me cry very much, because I was at my lowest, right? And if you guys have built a platform where you want to help people, if you guys have built a platform where you want to heal people, right? And in my lowest, in my worst moments, I come to you guys for help, and then you guys do me swear like this, like really, like really. So that happened, you guys, and I got scammed. I never got the money back, because they were asking me to pay more, and the dump me would usually pay. Like, I was so tempted to pay more just to get it over and done with, but I also had to sit down and think about it and go like, you know what, Samira, this is really not worth it. I've done a lot of dumb things in the past, I've made a lot of dumb decisions in the past, and I didn't want this to be one of them. And if I'm being honest, right, it was more the principle. Like, I had lost interest in it, And maybe, who knows, someday I'll try it again because I really want to know if it does work or not. Sometimes I just like being in my comfort zone, and I felt like just being at home and being able to like speak to your therapist was not a good idea. Like, it was not a bad idea, so I wanted to try it. So who knows, maybe my dumb self will still try it someday. But you guys, for that very moment, I was terrified. It was not easy. Like, I was like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. So I just went into my shell. Like, I even went into it even big. I think at that time I posted on Instagram that, you guys, I just got scammed or something like that, and people thought it was like one of those IG wigs, but it was not. It was BetterHelp. I got scammed by like a big company, and I could not even cry about it. Like, that's how bad it was. So what no one tells you about giving birth is that you actually lose a lot of friends. Literally, you lose people, you lose friends, you lose family, you lose contact with everybody. And I have been through that shit. Okay, I've never had a lot of friends. The other day I was watching a video where Gisela said those of us who have made ourselves popular loners, and I'm one of them. I've never had a lot of friends. I do have one or two people that I count on and everything, but even those one or two people, I've lost some of them now. So you know, I don't have like a lot of friends, and that's just because I'm weird as fuck. Like I said, you guys, I'm forgetful. Let me tell you a story that happened like a while ago, right, which was connected to ADHD. Now I know that. Before I did not know that. So there was this time that my friend and I had talked about getting funds. This particular one. We talked about getting them, and me, listen, I'm telling you, like, now I can talk about it proudly because I know it's not my fault, but I can talk to you right now and forget about everything the next moment. In fact, forgetting names is my middle name, but that's not the point. So we talk about getting these things, right? First of all, I go to Banana. I created a video on Banana where I was testing their makeup products and whatever it was that particular day. In fact, I even apologized in another video to her. So I remember that day when I went to Banana, I was just walking around and I came across this fan, right? Tell me why I totally forgot that my friend and I had talked about that same fan. Literally, first of all, I had forgotten that we had talked about one of this fans. And while I was buying the stuff, my money got finished because I had bought more than I had bargained for. At the time, they were not accepting women. This was like 3 years ago. So first of all, my friend like comes to the mall as well. She's around there. She's like, oh, I'm around the mall. Where are you? Whatever. And I'm like, oh, I'm here. Whatever. And then like out of nowhere, we just like ended up. I was about to leave, but because she said she was there, I came back. That's me with my dumb stuff. I came back to meet my friend. Like, I really love that girl. So I get back and like we're talking, and she's like, oh, she gets it. She's like, oh, look at the fans we're talking about. And then my face dropped because I was like, oh shit. This is the fan that we're supposed to get, so I should have got 2. And the worst part of it was that she actually got 1 for me. The truth of the matter is that my money had gotten finished, but I had remembered I wouldn't have gotten the one I got for myself at all, so that it would be like, oh, we both didn't get it. And because I didn't remember that we had even talked about it, I was like, okay, my money is finished, but I can get this one, something like that. You guys, so she gets excited. And she's like, oh, look, the thing we talked about, and me trying not to be a bad friend, I'm just like, shit. And I was like, and you could see when my face like embarrasses me sometimes, like you could see like that something was off. So I wasn't as excited, and I was just quiet. And she's like, oh, didn't you see it? And she's like, oh, let me go through, let me see your bag. And my friend is like, she was like, let me see your bag. And I'm like, no. And then she just goes through it, and she takes out the, and she's like, so you got 1 and you didn't get 1 for me. And I felt horrible, man. I felt so bad. I felt like I had done something wrong. I felt like I had killed someone, and of course I should feel bad. Of course I had done something wrong, especially since she was thinking about me and I had not done that. And I remember like hating myself for so long, because after that she didn't speak to me for a while. Like, I literally had to beg in so many ways just to like get her to speak to me, and I understood her, you know. Later on, when that thing happened, I was just like, oh, that makes sense. You guys, you could be my best friend, right? And I'll forget about you. Literally, like once I'm going through life and I have like a lot of things going on, I forget about people. And my point is that when I gave birth and with the postpartum wahala and everything, that got worse. Some of them really tried. Some of them like really tried to be in my life. Like some of them took me out on dinner. Like some of them tried, right? But I was too overwhelmed to give a shit, you know. I feel like giving birth also like opened my eyes to a lot of things. Like, for instance, accepting when I'm wrong and when I'm not. And of course, like when you have a child and everything, you become this completely different person. You're not as out there as you used to be. You're not there for your friends as much as you used to be. And like I mentioned in my other video, that's normal. For me, the hardest thing I've had to learn these past couple of months or years or whatever is the fact that you literally lose everyone around you. People leave, people get tired and leave, and that's okay. That's normal, because right now you guys don't have as much to talk about. Like, for instance, I spent like the last year trying to make sure that my girl was good. during that time I did not go out. Before, I could buy myself like a pretty dress, I could buy myself a wig and everything. Now when I'm buying a wig, I'm thinking, oh my god, this wig can actually buy 10 packs of food for my daughter. Like, this can do this for that. Don't get me wrong, I started getting back into my life. I started buying things for myself, and I intend to keep doing that. But for the longest time, I didn't have that much money to splurge. For the longest time, I had to think a lot deeper. I had to, like, at a point I was literally like so broke that it was bad, you know. When it comes to like spraying, right, this is literally the best setting spray ever. Like, look at how it comes out. Do you see it? Oh god. Oh, you made it, man. I mean, it rubber band. So I didn't put on lashes because, you know, I'm trying to go with as minimal makeup and as I want to look like, you know, I want to look like I woke up like this, you know, but I did not. I want to look fresh. I want to look simple. And look at my hair, by the way. I went to relax my hair and ended up doing this. It goes with my top. I love it. For my lips, I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty, this pink thingy. I don't remember what it's called. And this one from Taleki. I never said it right. She gifted this to me a while ago, and it's the bomb. Okay, it's a young lady in Ghana, you know, just doing her thing. Absolutely worth it. I love it. You guys should please check it out and buy from her, okay? Because I don't have pink lips, I like to put this on first, just to give an illusion that I have pink lips, you know. You're thinking that Samira, she's got pink lips. No, I don't have it. My lips are dark. I look like I smoke. Do you see how glossy this is? It literally takes everything to 1,000. I love me. Oh god, you're cute. I don't like taking out my other earrings when I'm gonna put on earrings. I'm just gonna do this. And then insert it. This video is too long. I look good, man. I look good. Cheers to good life. What was that for? For me, out of sight is out of mind. If I'm not talking to you all the time, if you're not in my life all the time, I forget about you. Back then, I used to make this joke about how I can't cheat because I forget about one person. It's a fact, because like if I'm cheating, right, it's easy for me to forget about one of you. Like I cannot do two or more. Like I can't do a lot of people at a time. I'll forget. One of you will struggle, if that makes sense. So like when it comes to friends, I've always like, I prefer to keep my circle very small, and it has nothing to do with betrayal or someone snitching or whatever. I mean, that's a thing. Be careful of that. That's a thing. People are wicked, people are weird. But the fact that I kept my cycle small was never because I'm afraid that someone will snitch on me. Like, God has always blessed me with very good people, okay? And if I have someone who's snitching on me or who's doing something bad on myself, that's on that person and not on me, and I don't give a fuck about that. The reason why I always kept my cycle small is that I do not have the time to make friends. I forget about friends. I can take your number right now and never call you again because I've forgotten about you. And this is not even me being malicious or anything of that sort. It's just that my brain was wired that way. For the longest time, I couldn't tell people the truth because it was too embarrassing. How do I tell someone that, hey, I forgot about you? How do I tell someone that, hey, if I don't see you, I'll forget about you? You see, long distance relationship, me, I can do some. We'll just forget about each other every day. I always say that the people who are in my life are people who really love me and who really make an effort to be in my life, because I forget about shit. I forget about everything. For me, right, a lot of things gets overwhelming. So putting that overwhelming feeling of post-wahala depression and everything, plus having ADHD and everything, was just too overwhelming for me. Most people cannot understand that, oh, now that you have a baby, you might not be able to like be there for me 24/7. Now that you have a baby, oh, there could be a situation where my baby is actually sick, or there could be a situation where I myself am sick and I cannot do certain things for you. Most people do not understand the fact that there's a lot going on in my life as well, you know, like how everybody has got shit going on. Giving birth turns you into a completely different person, okay? Because like I said, me, I was obsessed with my child at that time, okay? I was broke, obsessed, and just trying to figure my shit out, you understand? And most people just do not get that. Like, it happens, okay? So even my small cycle had to even get smaller because, you know, people just took themselves out, and it's okay. Like, I understand that that's happened. I've lost like very important people in my life that I would have loved to spend eternity with, I would have loved to be friends with forever, and that's okay. Like, for me, right, I do not hold bad blood. I think that what's meant to be is meant to be, and if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. One of the things I've learned during this past whatever is that you apologize when you're wrong and move on, and not to take disrespect as well. And that's what I've been like practicing lately, and that can come as a very tough decision for most people as well. That being said, like I said, I did lose a lot of friends for like reasons that I cannot even tell you guys. Sometimes I'm at fault, sometimes they're at fault, whatever. We fell out, okay? And that was one of the toughest things I had to deal with as well. On top of the fact that I was going through a lot, I had to deal with the fact that I lost friends as well, and that was just an easy thing. Like, you know, when you have like that comfort friend that you can rely on, when you have like those comfort friends that you can rely on, or that one you can just call and say, hey, did it, whatever, and then like it gets to the point where you don't have that anymore. It's just like, oh, okay, so what do I have now? What exactly do I have? Nothing. That's not true. You do have something. But to summarize all this, what is the next step for my channel, you guys? I have no freaking idea. I do want to go back to doing very fun things. I do want to go back to being the amazing Mira who created fun content, like, you know, like the worst reviewed makeup artist, like, you know, giving you guys valuable content as well. But I do not know where to start from, because like I said, I just came back and I've given you guys the reasons why I've been gone and everything. So I would really appreciate it if you guys can just tell me what you want to see from me, or tell me the kind of content you want to see. I really, like, I'm literally begging you at this point. Please tell me what you want to see, and I'll try my best to like make videos according to those lines, because right now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm struggling, and I really want to do this seriously. I do want to be consistent this year. I want to post at least 2 times or 3 times weekly, but right now I'm struggling on the kind of content to create for you. So I know people have different people for different content, and if you see me, when you see me, Samira, what kind of content do you want to see from me? Let me know in the comment section. I'll definitely get right into it, because I need to have a plan for my life at this point. Anyway, this is it basically. This is what my life has been. This is what I've been going through. I asked some questions on my YouTube as to like the Q&A, and I got like some very interesting questions. I don't think it were enough, so I'll ask again just to get more and ask you guys. If you have questions, to leave them in the comment section. I'll add them to those as well. Maybe in my next video I would answer those questions. But that is basically what has been happening in my life. Yes, I think I have ADHD. It's not confirmed yet, but no doctor can tell me that I do have it. It's a fact. Yes, I got scammed and I've moved again. So if you've been seeing a different background in my video and you're confused, I thought you moved to someplace. How come this is? That's why. Okay, don't be confused. And yes, my beautiful daughter is doing well. She's doing amazing, you guys. I'm a mom. Can you believe that? It's really beautiful. Maybe I'm gonna film a video where I take myself out on a date very soon, because I do want to do something for myself. I want to go out on a date. I remember I say I'm shy and everything, but I was going through my old videos and I realized that sometimes I used to go out alone. Where's that Samira? I need her. I'm gonna go out alone one of these days. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know if there's something you want me to do next. How has your life been going? What have you been up to? Have you lost any friends lately? Is there anything exciting going on? Do you still live with your parents? Have you moved out? What is going on? Let me know. Okay, let's just in the comments. Like, let's make this a true community. This year, I want us to become one. I want it to be our content. Do you understand? I want us to be one. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Until next time, I love you guys so much, and bye. You guys, look at my outfit. Ow, that hurts. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, I didn't want to take a picture and show it to you, but my outfit looks so cute. I did a haul on this. Go check it out.